Welcome to Motion 24, the place where untold stories meet raw emotions. Tonight, we dive deep into one of the most shocking and heartbreaking chapters in the life of TLC's Little People Big World family. Subject: immediate termination. Three words that shattered a 20-year reality TV legacy and brought an entire dynasty to its knees. Tonight, we reveal what TLC and Discovery Communications have desperately tried to bury. We have gained exclusive access to a leaked internal email chain. Yes, the one circulating inside corporate servers that finally confirms what fans have whispered for months. Caryn Chandler is out. But here's the twist. It wasn't the feuds with Amy Roloff. It wasn't the online backlash. It wasn't even the controversy on social media. What ended Caryn's career was something far darker. A catastrophic breach of contract so severe that TLC's legal team had to act immediately to protect the network. And Matt Roloff's reaction? According to sources, he delivered a chilling ultimatum to executives. If she goes, I go. TLC's alleged response was colder than the Oregon winter. Goodbye. Tonight, we are opening the email Matt Roloff prayed you would never see. Tonight, we are exposing the secret legal battle that may have destroyed the future of Roloff Farms forever. But before we dive into the classified file containing the exact clause that took Caryn down, I need one thing from you right now. We're taking real risks to bring you uncensored truths about Little People, Big World. If you want to support independent reporting, if you want the real story, not the network-approved version, hit that like button. Let's push this video to 5,000 likes and show TLC that fans refuse to stay silent. And if you haven't yet, subscribe and ring the notification bell. Because trust me, this story is unraveling by the hour, and the next update is explosive. Now, let's open the document. Our information comes from a former production assistant, an anonymous whistleblower who worked closely with the Roloff family during the last 2 seasons. According to their testimony, they were subjected to a hostile work environment allegedly fueled by Caryn Chandler's escalating demands, sudden mood swings, and verbal aggression on set. But this whistleblower didn't walk away empty-handed. They walked away with digital receipts, screenshots, recordings, and internal memos that could rewrite everything we thought we knew about Roloff Farms. And tonight, we're revealing them. The email in question is only 3 days old and has a red flag from Discovery's legal department that says it is very important. The subject line says, "Termination notice for talent contract C. Chandler, see Clause 14B. Clause 14B is the moral turpitude clause in the entertainment law world. This is the last resort for TV networks. This language is in every reality star's contract, but it is rarely used unless the network is scared of a huge lawsuit. Legally, moral turpitude is behavior that goes against the community's values of honesty, justice, or good morals. It means something much worse than just being nasty to Amy or selling the property. It suggests that there may be criminal activity or fraud." The email goes on to explain why this provision was used. It talks about a criminal inquiry that is still going on in Arizona. This is the big news. Fans have been curious about what Caryn does in Arizona and why she is so protective of her time there for years. This leaked letter says that Caryn is in a legal dilemma because she didn't tell the network about financial problems when she renewed her contract last time. This is the end of the line for reality TV insurance. The email for the network makes it clear that they can no longer insure Caryn Chandler as a show talent. She is now a problem. The email says that if she appears on camera and these Arizona claims are proven accurate, Discovery might be sued as an accomplice for giving her a platform. The CEO's words are harsh and final. A senior vice president writes, "We can't risk the integrity of the franchise for a supporting cast member who hit a legal firestorm. Cut ties right away. Starting today, she is banned from all filming locations and production is to stop all communication with her representatives." This proves that Caryn didn't merely lose her job. she was eliminated. The network isn't attempting to make this sound like a retirement or a choice made by both parties to stand aside. They are treating her like a radioactive asset that needs to be contained before the news gets out to the public. The alleged cover-up makes this even more explosive. According to The Insider, Matt Roloff was aware of the problem in Arizona. The documents that got out show that Matt and Caryn tried to keep this litigation quiet so that it might be settled out of court before filming began for the next season. They put the network's money and reputation on the line, and they lost. The email sequence shows that TLC didn't hear about what happened in Arizona from Matt, but from an outside investigator. The quick firing was because of that betrayal. It wasn't simply the crime, it was a lie. When the email came to Matt Roloff's inbox, it was said to have caused a lot of trouble. People who know Matt well say that he didn't take this news in the cool, business-like way that he prefers to act on TV. This is the most desperate part of the story, Matt's bet. When a network dismisses a spouse or partner, the primary star usually attempts to sort things out. They try to make things better. Matt Roloff did the opposite. He went on the offensive. Reports say that Matt Roloff was on a plane to Los Angeles less than 6 hours after the email saying he was fired was sent. He didn't go by himself. He took his own lawyers with him because he wanted to break into the offices of the executives who signed off on Caryn's termination. But this wasn't a meeting to talk about a deal. It was an effort at extortion. Matt is said to have walked into that boardroom and smashed a hard disk down on the mahogany table. Witnesses say that Matt told the executives that if they dismiss Caryn, he will disclose damaging footage from behind the scenes that he has been keeping for years. This is the part of the story that turns really dark. Matt is said to have said that this hard drive has proof that the production team at Roloff Farms took corners on safety rules to save money. He said he would tell everyone about the network for putting his family's and the public's lives at danger during pumpkin season if they didn't bring Caryn back right away. Matt's reasoning was easy to follow. He thought he was the king of the show and that he could take over the whole network. He yelled that little people, big world can't exist without the father and his partner. He sought to use the legacy of his own kids as pressure, even threatening to burn the program down to retain Caryn on staff. Matt, on the other hand, made a big mistake in judgment. He forgot that he was working with a billion-dollar media company, not a municipal zoning board. The people he was yelling at didn't get scared. They didn't give Caryn her job back. They hit record instead. Matt never saw it coming, but the meeting room was set up with audio and video. High-definition audio recorded every threat Matt made and every attempt he made to blackmail the network by using fake safety infractions as a weapon. After this meeting, the disclosed email chain goes on. The tone goes from professional worry to legal battle. The head of production sent a follow-up email that said, Mr. Roloff's attempt to coerce the network regarding the employment of Ms. Chandler has been noted and forwarded to our legal counsel. We are adding attempted extortion to this file. Proceed with the cancellation of the current production schedule. We are done here. Matt walked into that room thinking he was the godfather of reality TV and that he could make the suits do what he wanted. Instead, he gave them the perfect reason to end the Matt and Caryn era for good. The network figured out that Caryn's secret Arizona lawsuit makes her a liability and that Matt is now a direct threat to the company's operations. Matt broke the #1 rule of TV by threatening to leak harmful footage. You should never bite the hand that feeds you. According to The Insider, security pulled Matt out of the Los Angeles office. He didn't leave with a new contract for Caryn. He left with his career in ruins. The sad thing is that Matt was willing to give up everything, his children's paychecks, the show's history, and the farm's advertising engine, just to protect a lady who had supposedly missold to him and the network about her legal problems. As Matt flew back to Oregon, angry and planning his next move, he had no idea that things had already changed on the ground. He was yelling in a boardroom in Los Angeles, but in a quiet diner in Portland, a very different conversation was going on. This is where the story changes from a tragedy for Matt to a win for someone else. Chris Merrick was playing three-dimensional chess while Matt was playing checkers. Chris and Amy weren't just sitting at home waiting for the axe to fall. They took the initiative. Chris Merrick has always been the quiet observer because he has worked in real estate and sales. He has been keeping an eye on the ratings. He has been looking at the comments area. He knows what the numbers mean. The numbers show that the audience is sick of the toxins. They are sick of the farm warfare. They don't want Caryn to get involved in family matters anymore. But the audience likes Amy's second act. They enjoy seeing her happy, going on trips, and cooking. Chris Merrick set up a lunch date with the network's regional head of development while Matt was busy ruining his own life in LA. He didn't come with threats. He didn't come to blackmail. He had a pitch deck with him. The idea was simple but brilliant: to give the franchise a new name. Chris suggested a spin-off that pretty much leaves Matt and Caryn out of the picture. He presented a show on the core of the family, Amy, the grandkids, and the drama-free existence they are making for themselves away from the toxic farm. It has been said that Chris brought printed analytics to this lunch. He showed the executives how the number of viewers dropped minute by minute when Matt and Caryn started fighting, and how the number of people who watched went up when Amy was on TV with the grandchildren. He said that the show isn't the problem. The Roloff Farm turmoil is. He told the network how to fix their Matt problem. Let him go if he wants to. Let the bridge burn if Matt wants to. Amy and Chris are ready to take over. People in the production offices in Portland are saying that a deal was pretty much reached right there at the table. It wasn't signed in blood. It was signed on a piece of paper. Chris Merrick gave the network the key to getting out of the Matt Roloff hostage scenario. Amy's financial future and her legacy on TV are safe thanks to this spin-off arrangement. Matt is left carrying the bag for Caryn's secrets. But it didn't really sink home that they had been fired until the crew got to the farm. This leads us to the fight that transpired yesterday. We need to talk about taking the set apart, because this picture represents the end of an era. There is usually a wrap party at the end of a season. There are hugs and cake. This time, there were guards. At 8:00 a.m., production trucks drove onto Roloff Farms. But they weren't there to shoot confessionals. They were there to take the equipment apart. We mean the lighting setups in the huge house, the soundproofing in the interview rooms, and the cameras that are always on around the property. Matt Roloff watched from his porch as the things that made him famous were placed into cargo vans. But the security detail was the most embarrassing part. It is said that the production business engaged private security just to make sure that Caryn Chandler didn't go close to the crew. The network has a zero-tolerance policy because of the charges of a hostile work environment and the ongoing inquiry. They couldn't let Caryn get into a fight with the staff she supposedly mistreated. So you have this strange moment where Matt is seeing his TV empire fall apart, and his partner is basically under house arrest, unable to get close to the people who used to film her everyday life. People said that Matt tried to step in. He took his mule to the staging area and proceeded to fight with the showrunner, a man he had worked with for more than 10 years. Witnesses report that Matt was pointing at the dwarfism world buildings, like the castle and the western town, and yelling, "I made you? I built this. You are nothing without this farm." But the workers kept packing. Corporate had given them orders. The email had been sent. The choice was definitive. The quiet that came after the last truck left must have been really loud. The cameras were gone for the first time in 20 years, and they weren't coming back for Matt. This is what has happened since then. TLC put out a statement that was meant to be unclear. They remarked, "We have decided to pause production on Little People. Big World to evaluate future creative directions." If you know anything about PR speak, you know that you don't stop a hit show that's been on for 2 decades until something really bad happens behind the scenes. You stop watching a show when the main character is bad. When the law says the risk is greater than the gain, you stop the show. While Matt is probably talking to crisis management teams, and trying to figure out how to pay for the farm without the TLC check. Amy is celebrating. Amy posted a picture on Instagram just hours after the crew left the farm. She and Chris were sitting on their balcony and raising 2 glasses of wine. There were only 2 words in the caption: New beginnings. She didn't say anything about Matt. She didn't say anything about the firing. She didn't have to. Her smile said everything. She knows she won the battle. She played the long game. She stayed out of it and let Matt and Caryn ruin themselves with their own greed and secrets. A stolen email and a clause that no one imagined would ever be invoked are bringing down a reality TV star. But the question is still, what exactly is in those police records from Arizona? The email talked about problems with money, but I know the real case number. I am now working with my source to get the whole police report from Arizona that Matt tried so hard to keep secret. I'm going to find this for the next video. To see the real papers that got Caryn fired and proof of what she was hiding in Arizona, I need your aid. We need to get this video to 20,000 likes. I will send out the case file in the next update if we reach that objective. And I want to know what you think in the comments. Should TLC bring back the show with Amy and Chris only? Is the program dead without Matt, though? Please leave your thoughts in the space below. Roloff Farms is only just starting to end. Stay tuned. You guys totally nailed the goal on the last video. We requested for 20,000 likes to disclose the Arizona data, and you gave them to us in less than a day. That's all I need to know. The fans are done with the falsehoods. You want to know the actual reason Caryn Chandler was dismissed, and what Matt Roloff is desperately trying to keep from you. Today, we're not just guessing. We are opening the case file today. We have copies of the papers that were mentioned in the email about the end of the job. These papers explain the moral turpitude that made TLC cut relations with a 20-year brand overnight. For years, people have said that the time frame of Matt and Caryn's relationship didn't make sense, but the timetable for the money is much more suspicious. The papers we found suggest that there is an investigation into a senior living investment organization in Maricopa County, Arizona. These insider claims, which are now going around among production staff, say that Caryn was identified as a managing partner in a real estate business that offered big profits for retirees. The claims imply that money meant for building homes was stolen. Now, why does this matter to TLC? The leaked internal document says that some of the money used to fix up the new house on Roloff Farms may have been mixed up with the money in question. This is the proof. If Matt Roloff utilized money from Caryn's suspected shady business practices to build his dream home on the farm, the whole property is now part of a legal inquiry. This is why the TLC lawyers stopped working. They can't film there if the farm is taken over or frozen as part of a fraud probe. The set of the show is basically a crime scene. This new information changes everything about the fight between Matt and his son Zach. For the past 2 years, we've been informed that Zach and Tori left to Washington because they couldn't agree on how much to pay for the property. People informed us that Matt sought too much money, but a source close to Zach Roloff tells a very different story today. The insider says that Zach didn't leave because of the cost. He left when he spotted the books. During the negotiation process, Zach's financial consultants are said to have pointed out problems with the farm's operating budget. They said they identified links to Caryn's Arizona accounts that didn't make sense. Zach, who has 3 kids, determined he couldn't bind his family's financial future to an asset that was legally tainted. He wasn't being stubborn. He was keeping his kids safe from what is happening right now. When Matt called Zach lazy or incompetent, he was projecting. Zach knew the ship was going down, so he got off before it did. This also explains why there is no sound. Notice that Tori and Zach haven't said anything to defend Matt. When there is a family issue, everyone usually works together. But the lack of noise from Washington is deafening. It means that they have been waiting for this to happen. Sources say Zach feels like he was right. Fans were quite upset with him for leaving a legacy, but now it seems like he was the only one who could see the calamity coming. But the drama doesn't end with Zach. We have heard that Jeremy and Audrey Roloff are now highly interested in the farm again. People say that Jeremy, the golden child, sees an opening now that Matt's image is in ruins and Caryn is out of the picture. But the network isn't interested. The executives don't want Matt to have the Roloff name anymore. The brand is bad for you. Let's talk about the money, because this is where things turn scary for Matt. Losing the TLC contract isn't just a loss of revenue. It also means more debt. We found out that Matt's financing to buy Amy's half of the property was predicated on how much money he thought he would make from the program. It's usual in the business to borrow money against contracts you haven't signed yet. Because the moral provision was broken, the contract is no longer valid, and the bank can supposedly call in that loan. Reports say that Matt Roloff is having trouble with cash flow. He has a huge mortgage, a half-finished dream house that might be paid for with dirty money, and no way to pay for it. People who work on the farm are mumbling the F word, foreclosure. The enormous house, the castle, and the pumpkin patch might all go up for auction in 6 months. Matt is in a hurry to sell off his assets. You may have seen that he is suddenly selling heavy machinery and ancient props online. Chris Marek and Amy, on the other hand, are going forward at a breakneck pace. We made fun of the spin-off in the last video, but now we have more information about how it will work. The network doesn't want to make more episodes of Little People, Big World. They want to change the name of the company completely. Amy's second act is the term that is being tossed around in the development office. The idea is great in its simplicity. It focuses on Amy's cooking business, her travels with Chris, and most importantly, her position as a grandma. It's good for you, it's safe, and it's everything the ads want. And here's the kicker. Chris Marek is said to have worked out a deal that says Matt's name can't be mentioned on the show. They are taking him out of the story. This is the best way to get back at someone. Amy isn't simply beating him, she's taking his place. The stats for audience retention show that people watch for the kids and for Amy. Matt's mean editing has finally come back to bite him. So what's next for Matt? He is in a tight spot. We have heard allegations that he is seeking to sell a show to other networks, especially streaming sites like Netflix or Peacock. His idea is said to be a redemption arc, a docuseries about saving the farm against all difficulties. But Hollywood does talk. The termination for moral turpitude is a big red flag that no insurance provider will handle. He is basically on a blacklist. The saddest part of this story is that Caryn is involved in all of this. She joined the family as the manager of the farm. She worked her way into the patriarch's heart. She made things worse between the father and his boys. And now her history has blown up the whole legacy. Reports suggest that Matt and Caryn are staying alone in the Arizona home that is at the center of the dispute. There are reports that tensions are rising. Matt ruined his relationship with his kids for a lady who ruined his job. We are seeing a Greek tragedy on reality TV. A man who wanted to be in charge of everything has lost control of the one thing that mattered. The gates of Roloff Farms are closed, the cameras are gone, and the bank notices are on their way. We are looking for one additional piece of proof. We learned of a phone call that was taped between Matt and Jeremy on the night of the dismissal. Matt is said to have begged Jeremy to make a public statement in support of Caryn, but Jeremy refused and hung up the phone. If we can get a copy of the call, it will show once and for all that the family is entirely broken. I'm working with my source to make sure the transcript is correct. The story is far from over. The fights in court are just getting started. Make sure you are subscribed if you want to witness Amy's new empire grow and Matt's kingdom crumble. We are going to follow the money all the way to the auction block. Please leave a remark below. Do you believe Zach should buy the farm at the foreclosure auction and kick Matt out? Or should strangers buy the whole place? Tell me what you think, and don't forget to like this video so the algorithm keeps pushing the truth. I'll see you in the next update. We are returning with the last sad news about the end of the Roloff dynasty. If you've been reading this series, you know we promised to find out what the family really thought about Matt's firing. We promised to send you the transcript of the phone call that broke up Matt and Jeremy's relationship. We have confirmed the information in this call with a second person who is close to the family's PR team. And what I'm going to read to you shows that the Roloff family is not just broken, it is beyond repair. The call happened late on Tuesday night, just a few hours after TLC security pulled Matt from the property in Los Angeles. Matt Roloff was out of alternatives and desperate, so he called Jeremy. He wasn't phoning to say sorry, he was calling to get him to join. The transcript says that Matt told Jeremy that the liberal media and corporate snakes were trying to take the property. He told Jeremy to put a video on his huge social media site that said Caryn was a good person. Matt told Jeremy to say that Caryn was a victim of a misunderstanding. Jeremy's answer was short and harsh. He is said to have told his father, "Dad, we saw the police reports. You picked her over the farm. You picked her instead of Zach. Don't involve my family in your problems." After that, the connection went dead. You hear that click? That is the sound of the Roloff family name officially dying. Jeremy, who has been trying to stay away from the show for years, wouldn't help the man who started it all. He knows that becoming friends with Matt right now would be the end of his career. Matt has had to make the step that everyone was afraid he would have to do because he has no family members remaining to help him. A distressed sale listing sprang up yesterday morning on a private real estate server that wealthy investors in Oregon utilize. The listing we saw last year for $4 million, wasn't it? This is a listing for an emergency sale. The price has gone down by almost 40%. The listing has the main house, the pool, and the barn where the wedding will be held. The description says, "Sold as is," which is not a good sign. Only people who can pay cash right away. This means one thing: the banks are coming in. Matt can't afford to keep up with that huge home without the TLC production deal that guarantees the mortgage payments. The moral turpitude clause didn't simply end the program. It also triggered a default condition in his loan. If we can't find a buyer, we could have to hold a foreclosure auction in 90 days. A neighbor leaked a drone shot. That is the saddest thing that has come out this week. It displays the famous Western village that used to be full of kids and cameras. Now, weeds have taken over, and a blue tarp covers the church's roof. There are no people there. But even if the farm is fading, a new empire is growing in Portland. Chris Marek worked out a deal for the spin-off's pilot episode, and we have exclusive information about it. The new working title is Roloff Family, the next chapter. The tone is very different from the pilot episode, which was taped in secret during the past 2 weeks. No one is yelling. There are no difficult talks. The pilot starts with Amy hosting a dinner on Sunday, and look who's sitting at the table. Zach, Tori, and the kids. And in a surprise cameo, Jacob Roloff, the son who said he would never watch TV again, is seen in the background playing with Jackson. This is the best part. The kids didn't detest the cameras. They loathed how toxic it was to film with Matt and Caryn. The family has come back together at Amy's house, now that those two are gone. The network executives are said to have given the pilot a standing ovation. They figured out that they don't need the farm to make a good show. They only needed the family's heart. Caryn Chandler, on the other hand, has gone dark. She has turned off her social media accounts. The Arizona lawsuit described in the first video is getting more intense, and sources claim she is now talking to criminal defense counsel instead than entertainment lawyers. Reports say that Matt is alone in the Arizona house, trying to handle the sale of the Oregon farm from a distance. He is a monarch without a castle and a captain without a ship. Matt Roloff always maintained he was doing it for the legacy, which is sad. He wanted to make something that will last for a long time. But in his quest for power and money, he pushed away the same people he was trying to help. It's likely that a stranger will buy the farm, maybe a developer who will knock down the castle to build condos. The tangible legacy will be gone. But Amy keeps the emotional legacy alive. She left with nothing but her pride. But she got everything: the show, the kids, and peace of mind. As we finish this story, we learn a lot about loyalty and greed. Matt thought he was the hero, but he was really the bad guy in Amy's story. Little people, big world is over as we knew it. But something better is on the way. As soon as the trailer comes out, we'll be talking about the start of Amy's new program. If the Roloff Farms auction goes to the courthouse steps, we will also stream it live. You don't want to miss that. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive investigation. If you appreciate the risk we took to bring you these leaked emails and transcripts, please hit that subscribe button right now. Share this video with every little people, big world fan you know, because the mainstream media is too afraid to tell this story. The era of Matt is over. The era of Amy has begun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next chapter. More update. LPB. Matt returns to Oregon to celebrate Christmas with his grandkids. Amy Roloff releasing new book. Caryn Chandler shows off bigger diamond. Amy jealous? Matt Roloff details today what happened. I will explain everything. LPB. Matt returns to Oregon to celebrate Christmas with his grandkids. Matt from LPB is back in Oregon for the best reason conceivable this time. It looks like he wants to spend the holidays with all of his grandkids, and it's clear that he's in grandpa mode and wants to spend time with his family too. Matt recently used his social media account to tell about how things are going right now. People are going crazy at his new move, and they think he's finally on the right path. Is this real? What is this all about? What did he do this time? Continue reading to find out more about Matt and what he wants to do this winter. Matt Roloff isn't shy about showing off his amazing single life to his LPB fans. He recently posted a video of all the wonderful things he'd done in the past few weeks. He played the Cars by Good Times Roll 2016 remaster in the background while fans watched him smile, laugh, and have fun with his buddies. Matt said in his post that he has been having a whirlwind of joy again since he finished season 25 of Pumpkin Season. Matt told his audience that his friends from all over the world had come to see him and that he had been meeting them. He also said, "Have fun with this photo dump from the last month or so." The famous person then said that he was finally going to enjoy some pool time in Arizona and that he was also going to the NFL game. LPB viewers already know that Matt Brown has missed some of the most crucial times in his kids' and grandkids' lives. But it looks like he doesn't want to do that anymore. The famous person recently notified his fans that he was officially in the air for the Roloff family. He wanted to spend every second he could with his grandkids. Matt recently posted a carousel of photographs from his holiday days earlier this year on Instagram. He asked his supporters, "Is it just me, or does Christmas come earlier and earlier every year?" The famous person said he was finally racing home. He was happy to spend the conclusion of the year with his grandchildren. Matt said he really wanted the little Roloffs to be there. He wanted to spend as much time as he could. After breaking up with Caryn Chandler, Matt seems to have resolved to learn from the best Mimi in the world and is following in his ex-wife's footsteps. A lot of people who watched the show congratulated Matt for doing the right thing in the comments area. One person said, "You always make us happy." Another person said, "Being single again seems to suit you." LPBW, Amy Roloff releasing new book. Amy Roloff, who is known for her role on Little People, Big World, is coming out with a new book. On Friday, September 1, she told her fans about this big news. What kind of book has she been writing? What information has she given forth so far? Read on to find out everything. Amy has written more than one book. A Little Me is a memoir that fans may know about. She has also written a few cookbooks. She has been working hard on another cookbook, and she has a lot of interesting things to say about it. You might have seen Amy cooking on Instagram or YouTube. She often makes amazing meals and gives followers the recipes. Now, her fans may access her recipes in a different method. Amy made a great announcement on Instagram on Friday to start the weekend. The message says, "Your wonderful host, Amy Roloff, is coming back to our kitchens, but this time with a sweet twist. She is ready to put out her new cookbook. You won't want to miss out on how good her food is going to be. The book will have a lot of tasty recipes, from hearty family favorites to delectable treats. Eat, Love, Gather is the name of the new cookbook. It offers easy-to-make, comforting, home-cooked recipes from my kitchen to yours." Amy hasn't said when the release date is yet. You may see Amy Roloff's special announcement below. The TLC star told her Instagram followers to vote for a cover they liked in her post. She exhibited 3 distinct covers A, B, and C on a few different backdrops. LPBW fans are talking about their favorite of the 3 book covers in the comments section of Amy's post. There seems to be a healthy mix of votes for all of the covers. Amy has a hard choice to make, but any of them will work well for her. Fans all agree that she looks great in all 3 pictures. Of course, Amy's dedicated admirers are quite delighted to hear about her great news. They are excited to get her cookbook and try out the new recipes. One fan said, "Well done. What a big deal this is," as they vote for the cover photo. Other people are saying the same things. Amy Roloff, congratulations on your new book. We hope it works out. What do you think of Amy Roloff's big news? Which of the 3 covers do you like best? Let us know what you think in the comments below. And check back with TV shows Ace for more news about the LPBW stars. Caryn Chandler shows off bigger diamond, Amy jealous. Some spoilers for season 25 of Little People Big World say that there will be some tension in the room when Amy Roloff, Matt Roloff, Caryn Chandler, and Chris Marek all get together. Does Amy want what Caryn Chandler has? It's not normal to be in someone's life so much after a divorce, especially when they start dating someone else. Amy Roloff and Matt Roloff spend time together with their present partners. Matt Roloff and Chris Marek are now best friends, and they hang out together on guys' nights. Amy, Matt, Chris, and Caryn all spend time together in Little People Big World scenes because they are arranging a fundraiser together. You can still feel the tension between Matt and Amy, even though everyone has gone on to new relationships. It's so thick that you could use a knife to cut it. One of the primary stories in this season of Little People Big World is that Matt Roloff and Caryn Chandler are getting married. Matt and Caryn, who were both crying, talked about Matt's proposal at their home in Arizona not long ago. There was a proposal in the backyard as the sun was setting. Caryn answered yes when Matt asked her to marry him. People who follow Little People Big World on social media already know that these two are getting married. But in the most recent episodes, TLC scenes are finally getting there. Little People Big World spoilers claim that Amy, Matt, Caryn, and Chris all get together after Matt asks Caryn to marry him, and she says yes. Amy remembers that Chris wanted to prepare her before Matt and Caryn came there so she could see the ring on Caryn's finger. Matt gave Caryn a bigger diamond than Chris gave Amy, so things could get very awkward when they all meet up. Fans of Little People Big World have seen that Amy and Matt still try to outdo each other a lot. It seems like there is already a competitive spirit that no one wants to talk about. Spoilers for Little People Big World say that Amy Roloff goes right to the point, which surprises everyone. Amy wants to see Caryn's engagement ring as soon as Matt and Caryn walk in. One thing about Amy Roloff is that she tells it like it is. She doesn't want to see Caryn's ring at all, and even if she says she doesn't in scenes, she probably feels a little resentful that Caryn's gem is bigger than hers. Matt Roloff tells us what happened that day. Matt Roloff, who is famous for being on Little People Big World, recently addressed his admirers about the day he was having. So what happened here? And why was it so horrible for Matt? After Little People Big World Season 25 ends, there is still a lot of uncertainty about what will happen to the long-running brand. When Zach Roloff, Tori Roloff, and their kids officially left the show, a lot of people felt it was over. Of course, it doesn't help that there hasn't been any word on the future of the franchise, good or bad. So the only way to stay up to speed with the cast is to follow them on social media. This isn't the same as viewing an entire season of shows, but it can help people who miss Little People Big World. Matt Roloff's most recent news says that he and his crew were having a really day. So what was so horrible about this last event? It turns out that one of Matt's neighbors has a lot of cows. Matt taught his followers that the best method to grow pumpkins is using cow poop. Matt and his colleagues have been working with a lot of cow poop to help the pumpkins develop and do other things. Matt claims that his neighbor needs to clean up this cow poop every few years, and he and his pals are more than happy to help. It could be an industry, but it's clear that they're both helping each other out in this case. Matt Roloff reminded his fans of Little People Big World that they have 3 dump trucks working hard on the poop. That means a lot of work for everyone. There was a lot of talk about this latest update from Matt among fans of Little People Big World. This kind of work is bad, but it has to be done. Someone said, "I really want to get my hands on some manure. It's definitely that time of year. Everyone, have a great fall." Someone else said, "I'm glad it's a day for manure. I thought your day was going to be awful. Ha ha." A third person said, "Well, I'm glad to hear that your bad day ended with shit. I was scared of you for a minute. It sounds like your pumpkins will be happy." No more today. What are you thinking about this gossip today? Let us know in the comments, and stay tuned by subscribing to our channel to get more updates like this. Thank you.